alarm. There was something, I mean, literally 20 feet that way, and it was a head coming above the water. And I grew up in a lake, little lake, and have seen snakes in the water. Actually, fishing one time out in this big swampy area, I had a snake come right up to me. And when you see that viper head, the triangle head in the water, above the water going along, it's frightening. But this looked more like some sort of mammal, and actually just, yeah, I think it was some sort of an otter or something. It's cool to see here. Okay, back to my ideas. You're gonna go to a judge. You're gonna hear that Eric Johnson found a treasure chest, and your first thought is that even though you haven't gotten off your fat ass and gone out and found it, well, I shouldn't pick on fat. Even though you haven't gotten off your lazy ass and gone out and found it, you think you're going to go take that money away from a guy who's taken his time, his money, his effort, and everything else to actually go find it. What do you think's going to happen when you go to a judge and you say to a judge, you know, I have a vlog site, and I have comments from this particular individual on my vlog site, so I can prove that he was on the vlog site. And me and all the guys in this vlog site were kicking around ideas, and he is generally in the area where we, you know, determine it may be. And so we would think we're entitled to at least half of the treasure because we at least got him there. And if it hadn't been for our ideas, then he never would have been there. Now that in and of itself is going to be hard to prove. And for the average person with half a brain would tell them don't even bother, because proving that would be almost impossible. I mean, unless the guy, whoever finds it, me or whoever, unless they say, oh, by the way, I want to thank, you know, so-and-so's blog site or vlog site because they really got me to the place I'm going. Well, here's the thing. A couple of things. You, by law, and I want this to sink in, you, by law, could legally put down on a vlog site or a blog site where you think the treasure is. And if someone found it there, you don't have any right to it, because you didn't go claim it. You didn't go get the damn treasure. Ideas are free. People are confusing their vlogs and their blogs, copyrights, etc. I'm not even sure they're confusing them, or to use that new word, conflating them with finding the treasure. Finding the treasure has nothing to do with your blog or your vlog. It doesn't. That's one thing. But here's the one that I know a judge would say, because I know I'd say it if I was a judge. And I'm not a judge and I'm not a lawyer, but I like to think, a fair amount of common sense. If someone comes to me and says, this guy commented on my website, and he, you know, we were discussing the Colorado River, and then today I pick up the paper and I find out that, you know, he found his treasure on the Colorado River. Well, the only reason he's on the Colorado River is because of my blog site. That's one thing you'd have to prove. But that doesn't matter. I mean, in your mind, in your little mind, you have to prove that, but it doesn't matter legally. But here's what the judge is going to say. I'm just telling you, this is what he'll say. His first inclination when he understands the facts of the case are going to be this. But you didn't go get the treasure. He got the treasure. You have a vlog site. You're throwing out free ideas on the internet. You don't have a non-disclosure agreement. You don't have a contract with this person. That's why I've said I will not sit down with anyone in private and talk about the hunt. Because if someone can prove that we got together and had a conversation privately, and I admit under oath that yes, we sat and we discussed the Forrest Fenn thing, that person can then, they wouldn't win, I'm sure, but they could, you know, try to say, well, we agreed, we had a verbal, you know, in this private meeting that if he found it, I got 20% because I'm helping out with the ideas. You could try to say that. But folks, when you have a vlog or a blog that's on the internet for the world to look at, And you think you're going to be able to use that to go get someone else's treasure, because the ones that actually went and got it? You've heard the old expression, success is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. That perspiration, that going and getting it, that actual physical effort for me to get on a plane and go out to wherever I go and dig or do whatever I have to do to go get this thing, that's what gets me the damn treasure. Not just sitting on a vlog site. I could have my idea all my life. I could sit there and go, I know it's right there. I know it's right. I have figured it out. Doesn't make a damn bit of difference unless I go get it. And the same goes for you. You're not going to get your hands on this treasure trying to prove that someone else read your vlog or interacted on your blog, and so therefore, ergo, you have some title to it. Plus, Fenn has said he's given the title to whoever finds it. You plan on being there next to me when I find it, saying, can I have part of it? You won't even be there because you don't even know I found it yet. It just pisses me off the way people think. I mean, it's such a smarmy concept. People are going to come after whoever gets the treasure with, if they what? I guess can even prove you've been on their vlog or blog. Why? Because you commented on it? They can go look at a comment? Folks, you're so wrong on this. It's like I told this guy. To me, it's just not even a concept because it's so friggin' stupid that they think they can get away with it. But I hope someone out there that's that stupid is at least getting it through their damn head. Don't waste any of your more time. Don't waste any more time thinking that because you have a vlog or a blog site that people check into once in a while, kick around ideas about the treasure hunt with, that you're going to somehow think you're going to pull a little clever fast move when someone finds it and be able to get part of the treasure. A judge is going to look at you the minute you go and try to bring this lawsuit forward. He's going to say, why didn't you go get the treasure? Why did he go get the treasure and you didn't get the treasure? And you're going to have to explain that to him. Yeah, why didn't you go get the treasure? In my case, it'll be because you don't know where I'm going. How could you know where I'm going? I've never said on anybody's vlog or blog site where I'm going. I've never seen on anybody's vlog or blog site where I'm going. Where I'm going has never, ever been talked about specifically by anybody. There are people who have discussed various different areas. I've discussed the Molly Brown house. I've discussed Vermilion Creek. I went to Vermilion Creek on my last trip, not counting Vernal, where I was snowbound, so I didn't go into the mountains. But I was in Vermilion Creek, and I didn't get up the canyon to the petroglyphs. And I even said at that point, if someone else comes back now and gets to those petroglyphs before I do, up Vermilion Canyon, and they do find the treasure beneath those petroglyphs or near those petroglyphs, more power to them. I think I even say it in one of my Vermilion Creek videos. More power to them. Hope they send me a gold coin. Never even occurred to me I could have claim to the treasure. How could I? I didn't find it. But you cannot sue for the treasure if someone else finds it by simply saying you've discussed hunting for the treasure. Because that's really, when you boil it down, that's all you're saying. No judge is going to put that in a courtroom. No judge is going to sit through that crap. They're just going to say what I said a while ago. So why didn't you go get it? Why didn't you go get it? When I was thinking about this yesterday, it almost occurred to me, this is almost like, you could almost say this is almost like a, oh, this is interesting. But it's almost like a bike race. It's almost like we're all in a bike race. We're all racing for the same destination. Makes sense. We're all racing for the treasure. We're all biking along. We're all using the same route. And the treasure is the finish line. When someone gets to the finish line, And you're trying to come forward and say, basically, well, I was in the race too. And I was heading for the same finish line as he was. So I deserve part of the win too. I deserve part of the treasure. I deserve part of the prize. No, you don't. He won. He won the race. He got to the treasure chest. He found the treasure chest. You didn't find it. You just talked about it. You just threw blogs around. Ideas are free. I'm going to give you some ideas about business situations. Now, I liken what I'm doing with this treasure chest